podcast where
about Bones McCoy
with one of the guys from my brother and me, and his wife who was a doctor.
Okay.
And they basically go into the deep history of just bullshit medicine that didn't actually work.
My brother, and his wife.
But the one they had today was just some fucking guy who was just obsessed with goat testicles. And, like, this guy would just do fucking surgeries where it's just, like, you know, for virility. Just, like, I could just give you some goat testicles. Just, just put them in there.
I gave you the full package.
He didn't even...
The full goat package.
He didn't even remove the old ones. He just got to put the goat testicles in there.
Wasn't that a thing from Mass Effect? The Krogan? Like, you would get testicle implants to, because they would have like a set of 6 testicles or something, and you would get more testicles added to increase your virility.
But you can't. They can't.
They're sterile.
Yeah, sterile.
So
like I can
testicles.
imagine some Krogan snake oil salesman saying, like, you know, you want to beat the genophage, you got to buy these. Testicles.
I think that's what it was. If I recall correctly, the genophage. The genophage did not affect conception rates. It affected fetus survivability. So, like, the male gonads had nothing to do with it, but, like, Krogan are so fucking macho that the men simply insisted it must have been something to do with them, so they would just get more and more testicles because we could beat this with our balls.
Oh, Christ.
Man. Welcome to the Hell of Breakfast Show!
Did you turn that damn mic on?
Yes, he did.
I did.
Yep.
Every week something worse.
Is that ice cream?
Yes, it is. I love root beer floats, so we're gonna make a beer float.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
I want to steal one if I can.
There should be. I mean, I only have vanilla because that is technically what you put in a root beer damn float.
That is, yes, but with Guinness.
What?
Hang on.
All right, he's gone.
Have you ever done this before?
We don't need this.
I've never done this before. Period.
Made an ice cream float.
All right.
Yes, I've ordered them from restaurants.
So before we get into anything today, I want to take a look at we actually got some art challenge submissions for last week, and I want to take a look at some of them before we get into the nitty gritty. This was a writer. Our submission from Laura Rice, one of our old friends from the Daily Campus Comics page.
Well, I believe has a Tumblr. We should.
Yes, she does.
So we should plug the shit out of it.
JuniperJuice.tumblr.com. Check that out. She's very good. She's very funny. She draws a lot. Her style's a lot like Adventure Time, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Most people are.
Yeah. So, of course, the prompt from last week was, your car breaks down on a rainy road in the middle of the night, and you go to the creepy old house right up the street for help. You knock on the door, and who answers the door? And, of course, here we have Edgar Allan Crow.
Great.
Which
I like the axe.
I like the ascot.
You guys will be able to see these in the gallery.
No, you don't want to overpower it. I don't want to tell you
you're
how to
putting
make
too much
it
ice
drink.
cream in there.
You're supposed to do like a scoop.
Well, because the problem is that I don't know how well it will break down.
All right, so
it will.
The next submission was from.
Actually, you might want to throw that in the freezer. Keep it solid.
I'm sure I will eat through enough of it.
Our next submission was from our. Hey, come on, submissions. Our next submission was from our old friend Brenda Nicholas, who is behind one half of the team behind the Woodson comic. He used to draw Fruit Booch for me back in the day. He actually drew a terrifying animated GIF.
Oh man, I like that.
Is
not done yet.
Yeah, that's really good. So
the Flesh Man cometh.
The Flesh Man cometh. So thank you, Brendan, for that.
Who won?
We don't declare winners.
Laura
but
won.
I won. Yeah. Laura also sent this thing with a crow as sunglasses, but that's got nothing to do with anything except it's funny. And this was the one that I ended up doing. It took me a long time to get to this point, but
old lady that
is she coming out of something?
Head? Is it just a head? It looks like just a head.
It's going to darkness.
Oh, okay.
I tried to do it. I tried to do it a little bit in the style of like Richard Corbin, because that's the guy I was talking about last week, whose name I couldn't remember, and I felt really bad about it.
Yeah.
But he did like a lot of horror comic stuff with just really heavy line detail, kind of like that, like I did with the Shadow and whatnot. It was just I had a tough time getting to this point. I tried like 3 or 4 different things that I really hated, and I did this one today, and it was like, I just wanted to do something fun. And,
I mean, and that was the point. You mentioned last week you had just done this character, which was part of why I really wanted to challenge you. But
Steve didn't get his in. Steve Winchell is going to be on the show next week. Said he was going to do one. He might still send something to me tomorrow, and I'll throw it in the gallery, I guess.
I've long since ceased to care, Steve. You broke my heart.
I'm doing a really bad job. I'm doing a really bad job of keeping the deadline on that, but it doesn't matter. All right, serious business time. Thank you once again to all of our Patreon patrons on the Patreon. Turn down your phones, gentlemen.
I already did.
Yeah, it's me and Ryan this week.
To be fair, why would I expect someone to talk to me?
That's
everyone who knows me is in this room.
That's a very good point. Anyways, thank you to our Patreon patrons for patronizing us on Patreon. If you want to check out the Patreon, I still haven't updated it yet, but I am going to be doing that very soon with some new fun rewards, podcast related, perhaps. I'm thinking I'm going to make some merch soon that might be able to be mailed to people who pledge patrons. We'll see. So thank you if you are a patron already. If you're not a patron, please check that out and support the show and support the comic. We really appreciate every dollar bill. Also check out Help to Breakfast on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook. We're there everywhere, all the time. Hit list, recap.
God, he's selling super hard.
Last week, gentlemen. Then what's that price? $9.99. Yeah.
Except in the UK, because fuck you.
Plus shipping and handling, I am a poor
man.
man.
God, did you see what they did? Did you see what they did on at the shows in England? You know how the ring apron says WWE Network?
Yeah.
They electrical taped over the part that says Network.
Such heels. So Ryan, before we get into the hit list recap, what have you got here? Could just tell the people
real quick.
I
love root beer floats. We made a beer float.
Root, just beer.
No root. Root is gone.
That's too much ice cream.
I think it is too much ice cream. How was it?
It's pretty good. I disagree with you, though.
Really?
You take a taste.
I was going to say I was going to mix my own to my own ratio.
That's certainly fine, but try that first, just so the listeners at home know I'm not crazy. You can totally taste the Guinness.
Oh, you can. And I would have just done that. It's good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what I usually make, but yeah.
This week I've got the remainder of a jar of Midnight Moonshine, and I poured apple cider in it and
to save himself.
Drink it Appalachia style.
And I bought Labatt Blue because Canada.
Bottoms up, and the devil laughs.
Has Ryan seen that yet?
He
has. Oh shit! We're gonna have to do that later.
We're gonna watch that after this. You're gonna love it.
In the meantime,
where you can't see us, listeners,
we're gonna find a glass because I want to make myself one of those.
Yeah, you know where the beer glasses are. Just go get them.
Oh, right. I do know where those are.
Bring your own spoon.
I'll be right back.
Well, Kyle's gone, I'll just recap my hit list real goddamn quick. I didn't play any more Bayo 1. I just, for whatever reason, didn't find the time. I did start doing Diablo season play in Diablo 3, which is
I heard
kind of cool.
Can you go into that just a little bit? Tell our listeners what
that
is.
You start essentially you start fresh from you create essentially a separate side account that is only for the season. And season 1 is almost over, and season 2 is going to be starting soon.
Side account or side character?
You can have multiple seasons characters.
Okay.
But so essentially it's more like a side account, and you can trade things in between your seasons characters. But you start out first level, no gold, no artisan levels. You really do start fresh, and you got to start
the D3. I want to get back in the D3.
And so it's really kind of fun if you want to just really start raw.
I don't have any Guinness.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
If you want to start raw, like we all used to back in the day with Diablo 2, that's the way to do it. And it has been a lot of fun. And I think I'm up to like level 37 now.
Nice.
And I want to. I'm getting the rewards for the getting points for achievements, and also when you hit 70, you get transmogs. You get unique transmogs, and there are unique legendaries theoretically. I haven't come across any of them yet. But,
well, you're not at endgame yet.
Yeah, that's true. I finished Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
I'm
finally.
so fucking happy you did.
Sweet George Brown.
Let's spoil shit. What did you think of Sweet George Brown final boss fight, Michael Jordan?
It was probably the best fight in the game.
Am I stupid for getting legit feels off of that?
Michael Jordan was the most devious of bastards.
No, but the Sweet George Brown came on, he's like, I keep hearing it. Just like the idea that this man was tormented by a world he couldn't have anymore. It was so anime.
I like how the
Stop
whistle. I like how the
whistling, that picks it
whistle.
so terribly.
The whistle you get in the game, the whistle that takes you to the b-ball dimension,
Plays Sweet Georgia Brown.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
And so I unlocked Victorian steampunk mode. I might go back and do that.
I don't believe you.
Yeah,
I think
no.
you might do 5 minutes of it.
I did play The Wolf Among Us episode 4, which
One thing you didn't mention though is you gained the glorious the Shrek Mono.
I did get the Shrek Mono, which apparently I heard you missed.
Yes, I missed it.
I
sought lasting peace between two races.
It's a magical item that is like a regular kimono, but with a picture of Shrek on it.
Shrek is love.
Shrek is
Shrek
life.
is life.
It's
Yeah.
never ogre.
Alright, and then I played Wolf Among Us episode 4, which Kyle started playing but didn't finish, so we're not going to really talk about it.
It's not actually my fault this time.
It's not your fault this time. I'm not going to...
Maruka summoned him. What did you want him to do?
This is true. You have no idea what we're talking about.
He
Don't
doesn't
worry
have
about
to.
it.
P4 is life.
Uh,
P4 life.
it's never ogre. Christ. Anyway, so Kyle, we'll finish up Wolf Among Us episode 4 next week, and we'll try to hit episode 5. Not a whole lot to talk about for episode 4.
I'll try to do
Probably
also
just
episode
hit 'em
5.
both
I
at
will
once.
have time this week.
So Kyle, did you watch Always Sunny season 9?
Most of it. I'm about 3 episodes short.
Yeah.
I got most
we got
of
to
the way.
Mac Day, though.
I did get to Mac Day.
It's the best
We watched
episode.
Smack Day together.
Yeah.
It's the best
After
episode
you
of
left.
the season. So,
That was the best
aside from
way to
maybe
do it.
the gang squashes their beef is good, but only for like the last 30 seconds.
Well,
It's just,
the last
don't
one
know
I
about
saw
that one.
was the one where they're in the convenience store
The
when it
gang
gets
saves
robbed.
the world.
Oh, that
The
yeah.
one where
the
they all
gang.
imagine what they'll do.
I love that one.
And then Charlie's is just up.
Up.
You know, actually, I have to say about that scene. For that stupid throwaway joke, that is
Really well
That is an
animated.
intricately and elegantly animated scene that is better than most of the animated programming that is on TV right now. Like the animation they did in that scene, like they did not need to do
Like,
that.
when it's a short, you can
Yeah.
put more effort into it.
I know, but that is just. It was such a throwaway joke for
Yeah,
it.
it was.
It had nothing to do with the episode, and they did just such a good job with it. And I can't believe that that's the kind of effort those guys are still putting into that show.
I wonder who they hired to do that.
Teletoon. That is animated by...
Was it really?
No.
Canadian animators?
I will take this to my grave. That was animated by Canadians. I will swear
Okay.
to it.
I think
I'm
I
drinking
can
their
believe
beer.
that.
Cheers.
I
Alright.
think I can believe that, but it's better than most of the schlock that Teletoon puts out. Because Teletoon is one of the primary offenders in my
What
Yeah,
do they,
but
what
they
do they
were-
do?
pile of anime. Crash Canyon.
I don't know what that
The
is.
one
Dating
thing-
guy.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, weird
Ryan
side thing.
Sommer's terrible webcomic, Least I Could Do, was going to have an
shots
animated.
fired.
Yeah, I know. Was going to have an animated series based on
His webcomic.
based on his webcomic done by Teletoon. They got to the and as much as I don't really like Ryan Sommer all that much, he really did get the short end of the stick on
He
this
got
one.
screwed on
They
this.
got to the final stages of production on this show. And then they essentially told him, "Oh yeah, we found out that we can just use your ideas and not pay you, so we don't need you anymore." So they pretty much lifted all of his characters wholesale and changed only the names, changed the name of the show to The Dating Guy, and just put it out there. It's not good. It's really
it's
bad.
vile. Like sometimes the joke is just, well, that gentleman did say the word penis.
As much as
You are expected to laugh now.
as much as I don't like Least I Could Do, that show would have been much, much better if it was a Least I Could Do show, because at least there's some kind of premise in Least I Could Do, and there's some kind of characterization. They may all be terrible, but they exist.
Join us next week when we talk about Least I Could Do.
Anyways, so that's that. Did you play Bayonetta 2?
I did play a bunch of Bayonetta 2. Haven't
Awesome.
beaten it yet.
Good.
Past where
oh
I saw
my
you,
God.
or way past where I saw you?
I think I did one mission past where you saw.
Okay, so I'm still in the loop.
I'm on like chapter 9 or something,
Okay.
and it's fucking good though.
Yeah.
Boy, did we have trouble with that bow.
Oh my
Do you
god,
remember?
yeah, we did. We thought we found a bug.
We
Oh.
really did. We were just idiots. And
Yeah.
the game isn't really
It's
clear
not.
on this point.
It's not clear.
You get a
Basically,
bow?
it's like you unlock
Yes,
you
but
unlock a
it's
weapon. What was
awesome.
it called? It was.
It's the,
Was it Kafka?
Is it
Yes,
is
it's
it
the
a
Kafka.
long
It was
bow,
a
though?
it was a bow
It's a
called
compound
Kafka.
bow.
Oh, okay.
It's a bow called Kafka.
awesome.
It has the soul of a man that was turned into a bug in it, is what the description says. And
Cast
it
out
shoots-
by his family.
cast
into the
out by
pits
his
of
family,
hell.
and it shoots bugs. And so,
right.
normally when you buy a weapon, or when you get a new weapon, you'll see it pop up in the store, and you have to buy it. I had thought that's how you have to buy the primary weapon for like your hands. It's for when you're buying it because you can put a weapon on your
You can put it
hand
on
and your feet.
Yeah.
So
You buy
like,
a double of the
and the
weapon,
bow
right.
just doesn't have a version you can put on your feet.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm sitting
It's like
there
the
just
sword
like
in the
I'm
first
sitting
one.
there just like, where's the bow? Why can't I buy it? It's like, oh, I have it already.
Like, I'm Googling everything, I think of, like, Kyle, no one has found this bug but us.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's really fucking good. Like, I think it feels better than the first one.
I still find Loki kind of annoying.
You mean
I don't hate him.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I think the only reason I don't like him is I really wish he wasn't Cockney. Like, his speech
Yeah, but
is
everyone
really
is, though.
affected. Yeah, Are they? Yosuke's not.
Yosuke's not.
Yosuke's not Cockney. His name is Luca, but he's Yosuke. This must be really confusing to anyone listening. So Yugi and Yosuke were fighting.
I saw this thing of it. I saw a headline the other day that was some kind of topic on Reddit. I think that was like, if you could only pick one actor or actress to watch their movies from now until the end of time, who would you pick? Like, you can only watch movies that have that person in it. I was
Ian
saying
McKellen.
I was gonna say you should pick Liam O'Brien. That way you can watch pretty much every anime.
Johnny Young Bosch has got to eat.
Yeah, or something like that. Anyways, Ryan, speaking of anime,
Steve Bloom.
Oh yeah, no, Steve Bloom will take a cross genre. You can play video games too.
Watch long plays.
Ryan,
I'm holding up my
Serial Experiments Lane.
Serial Experiments Lane.
How was it?
Unfortunately, I was only able to get 3 episodes in, so I know I stopped like an episode and a half before the main point. It is really good, I have to say. You have to like that kind of avant-garde thing. Like, you have to like characters wandering around almost expressionless for like 4 or 5 minutes, where the point of the scene is like there is no sound, but the sound of power lines hiked up like 500% louder. The art is really interesting. I mean, the basic idea is just a girl gets emails from a fellow student who killed herself because the other student felt she just didn't need her body anymore. She was going to live in the internet. So it goes back and forth.
Sound logic.
It goes back and forth with those kind of ideas. Like,
it's basically Caprica.
Well, it's more like there's ideas there. The concept that they're going with is, the Ship of Theseus philosophical problem?
Yes.
Okay. For
those of you who don't know, the Ship of Theseus is, if you replace enough parts of something, is it still the original?
At what point do you cease to be the original?
There's actually a really simple... I haven't watched the whole movie because I didn't like it, but John,
it was bad.
John dies at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I got about halfway through it, but that actually has that movie starts off with a very simple explanation of the Ship of Theseus, and it just with two
solving it
with a 2-part explanation of the problem. Essentially, is an axe, the head on the axe. He breaks the head of the axe, killing a zombie, and then he goes to get the head of the axe replaced, and then he breaks the handle of the axe, killing something else. So he goes and gets the handle replaced, and then a year later, the zombie rises again and comes back and says, "That's the axe that's slain me." And it's like, well, is he right?
Is he? Anyway, the idea being that if you are your soul or your mental constructs, and you could leave your body behind, would you actually be dying? That seems to be what they're going for. I'm going to keep watching it. It's not on my hit list, but understand that I'll be finishing it this week.
Wicked City?
Wicked City.
What is Wicked City?
Wicked City is a 1987 animated film by a gentleman whose name I can't recall because it's heavily Japanese. You can look it up on your own.
I am Akira.
There have been comparisons drawn. Generally not favorable ones. One of the quotes I saw from reviews was, "This isn't the second coming of Akira, but it's a step in the right direction, I guess." It's a very fun little movie, but it is not for the faint of heart. That is a graphic film. And when I say graphic, I mean the sexy kind. That is 18 plus, not safe for work.
Mom, don't watch.
It's also very misogynistic, depending on how you interpret it, and you kind of have to...
Well, it was the 80s, and it's anime, so...
Every woman who appears in the film, I believe every single one of them is a demon from the black world, because it focuses around a guy who's essentially a Men in Black kind of character, but it's the demon world instead of space.
Does he have a fedora?
No, of course not.
You sure?
Yes, I'm positive that
but all women are demons.
Well, he falls in love with one of them anyway.
Does he get put in the friend zone?
No, fuck off! What are you talking about? But every single one of them gets full frontal naked, and with the exception of the main female character, all of them have terrifying vaginas.
Oh,
like this is
good.
about as graphic as you can get.
That's very uncomfortable.
The climax of the second scene, and it's the only scene I'm going to describe because it illustrates my point.
Climaxu
Is his female friend has been killed, and she got resurrected because she's a demon. He goes to rescue her, leaving behind the guy he's supposed to be protecting. He comes upon her in the midst of being gangbanged, and that gangbang continues for the entire climactic fight scene.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm not going to be watching
And
this.
the opening fight before the big bad like comes up and is gonna do fisticuffs with him is he has one of his female associates like try and tempt him. So she like makes him hallucinate. She opens up this big gushing chest vagina and
I don't want any of this.
She keeps saying things like, "Come inside me, Taki.
No,
I want all of you inside me."
Really?
I'm
No.
like, oh my god, I just don't know.
No,
I will say this. There is a lot
okay.
of it. It's not technically gratuitous. It does play a point in the story because the idea is to show that all of them are monsters and that's not what their genitalia is for. And then one of the other ones has procreative vaginas.
I think this is the point where I
think
I gotta call shenanigans on that. I'm sorry.
We might have to cut this.
Yeah.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
I've got a new thing that I'm doing, and it's called Ryan's gonna deal with his own goddamn mistakes. I'm done editing out your bullshit.
Oh, fantastic! Now I will get the hate I so richly deserve. What was the other thing on my list?
Phoenix Wright.
Oh, Phoenix Wright Case 3.
Law Academy.
The Themis Law Academy.
I'll let you say exactly what you need to say, and then we need to move on.
All right, the two things. One, like I said last night, this chapter of Phoenix Wright answers a question that people have been wondering about the Phoenix Wright game since Case 1, Game 1, and it's, why doesn't anyone in this world understand the law? And it's because you go to a school, and if you want to be a prosecutor, you take the prosecutor course, taught by one person. And that's apparently all it takes to get your law license. One guy kind of half-heartedly talking to you about, alrighty then. The other point I want to make is, because I hadn't gotten to the end of Case 2 when we talked last week. Mm-hmm. There is a mechanic that I very much like that they institute now into like the end game of each case. Where what it used to be was...
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I do like that as well.
What it used to be was when you got to the climactic end of a case, it would be you were out of evidence or you were out of options and you were just fucked until the Deus Ex Machina appeared. Like, the door would burst open and somebody would run with new evidence, or the witness would get cocky and be like, and then you would point out a contradiction in his half-hearted thing. Now you essentially do a brain blast where you connect the dots between like 6 parts of evidence.
Yep.
So that you actually do legal stuff. You figure out the mystery. It's so much better.
Yes, let's say you and I go toe-to-toe on bird law, and we'll see who comes out on top.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done talking.
Okay.
I'm done talking to you.
All right. Tonight on the program, we got some wrestling to talk about. We got a lot of big things happening on Raw last week that we need to discuss. We're going to talk about comics. We're going to talk about Saga Volume 3. We're also going to be talking about a few things that I discovered this week, and that Ryan put in the document, and that Kyle probably didn't look at.
No.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll keep that short. But we're going to talk about Saga Volume 3, which we all read. We all watched Snowpiercer last night.
Yeah!
Pierce the motherfucking snow. So we're going to talk about Snowpiercer. And we're going to talk about the drawing challenge that we're going to issue for this week. We had some good participation for this past week, so we're hoping to just build on that.
Now, spoiler, do you have an idea for it?
No.
Oh, good.
Oh, God.
Good.
Anyways.
I'll be thinking.
All right.
Of
I've got a couple ideas that I just kind of stand by, but so thank you again to Laura and Brendan for submitting for the drawing challenge this week. Also, thank you to Mike Rasmus, of course. I forgot to say this before, for our fabulous theme song. Let's dive right into the show proper. No Chance. That's what you've got. Up against a machine too strong. Vince came back last week. That was cool. Nobody saw that coming.
Nope.
That was awesome.
Did you catch no one's gonna be able to see this, but when he came out, I watched the video again, and he goes out into the little entrance area where they come out and just does one of these.
Yeah, I did see that. He did the I'm here.
But Vince
McMahon,
he did some good shit. He
It's a vaudeville act.
It kind of is.
He's a man.
He's kind of a vaudevillian character.
No, he did some cool shit. He made things matter.
Yeah, he did. So the consequence that was put on the table last week was was that Vince told Stephanie and Triple H that if Team Authority does not win at Survivor Series, he's going to dissolve the Authority. Yeah, and
which I do have to point out, no one really knows what that means.
I think that he's going to make Stephanie and Triple H get a divorce.
Wow, that's harsh.
You know, if this was the Attitude Era, I think that's probably what they do.
Yeah. No, but no, they're going to be taken out of power essentially. The Triple H Stephanie regime will be deposed. Corporate Kane, Seth Rollins, those two bodyguard douchebags.
Oh, I'm gonna miss Bebop and Rocksteady.
No.
I guess.
But can we really root for for Team Cena?
Of course we can. John Cena's awesome.
Oh right, I forgot you're doing this thing.
Yeah, you can't see me.
You're on Sweet Bitch. Where is it?
No, it's not time for that yet.
Oh, it will be.
Probably sure. But...
I don't want Team Cena to be I do not want this.
But you want the Authority to lose because it makes things happen.
No, I don't want this.
I want things to change, and especially with the tease that everybody's talking about and really hoping for is since they teased tension between Triple H and The Rock.
Yeah, I mentioned this. Did I mention this to you?
I believe you did. Yeah. Is to have the Authority get taken out of power and then have The Rock come and be Raw GM.
Yep.
This opens the door for there to be a new Raw GM. There hasn't been a Raw GM since Brad Maddox, and quite frankly, he was terrible.
Yes, he was. I have a question which my two wrestling friends will hopefully be able to answer for me. Here's what Ryan wants. Ryan wants the Authority to be deposed, and that to usher in an era of pure anarchy in which there is no GM. Is that at all feasible?
I know. That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. Is the Authority's going to lose? There's going to be no one to step up, and at WrestleMania it'll be decided.
Yeah, but how of this?
How did the shows get?
Don't care.
Booked?
Do not care. How did the shows get booked? They can't even tell who's in the building half the time in kayfabe.
That'd be interesting. I would
Give
like
it back
to
to Mick Foley.
I want blood in the water.
That would be good.
I want sharks.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I want petty states.
Did you show Ryan that video of Mankind, the College Humor video of Mankind in the office?
No,
I was in the bathroom trying to take a piss, and I turned around and somebody hit me in the face with a steel chair. It is a flashback, and you see me take a steel chair to the face, and just Mick Foley. You can tell it's Mick Foley, but you can only see him from the neck down. Just bends down and goes bang bang. It's like, who could it have been? It's like I think it might have been Mick Foley. And he's just over there. He's like,
Mick Foley's just in a cubicle a few down.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know that I printed off the TPS reports for tomorrow.
I brought some baby carrots from home if you guys want some.
I would love some baby carrots. It was funny. So yeah, there's consequences now though, and that's what the cool thing is.
There's the potential. It doesn't even need to happen necessarily, but you feel like, oh man, this pay-per-view's coming up, something's going to happen, or something just might happen. And that's enough to make people watch, and that's what they need to be doing.
Watching Steph and Hunter court talent for Team Authority last week was great.
It was pretty great.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We've been talking about how it needs stakes.
I was thinking, what if Ziggler turned back heel? What if he betrayed Team Cena? I don't know.
They tried that last week.
There's all kinds.
They
of
tried
shit.
to turn him last week, and he said no.
Yeah, but he said no. But I mean, 3 weeks from now,
who knows? Anything could happen.
Let's say what this is, people. This is the new 52 of
WWE.
Yeah.
But here's the
hopefully it doesn't end up the same way.
Here's the real tragedy, though, is that they're really pushing John Cena to the side of this story, and
what? Because he wasn't.
I need him center stage so I can support C Nation.
Oh Jesus!
Listeners at home. Is it time for Sweet Bitch?
I haven't been offensive with it yet.
I'm offended.
You're getting awfully close.
This experiment is going to be impossible if you guys shit your pants every time I say John Cena.
Just to say, I like John Cena is not the same thing as saying I want him on my television
I didn't
screen.
say I was. I didn't say
you
I was
said it was
not...
a shame they put him off to the side.
I didn't say that I wasn't. I didn't say that I was going to just like John Cena. I said I was going to join the C Nation, which means we're all about it all the time.
let me
push Cena.
Let me put something on the table for you. I am running out of time, and you have stopped censoring my mistakes. That sweet bitch is going in my hole if it's not gone soon.
Randy Orton.
Oh, God.
Tweener or babyface now?
I don't know.
It doesn't really matter since he's kayfabe injured. He's gone for
Aww.
probably. He's gone. Oh, did you not know this?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, he's
off to shoot a movie.
Yeah, he's off to shoot a movie.
That's too bad.
And he's not scheduled to be at Survivor Series.
Oh, what the fuck?
But I'm thinking surprise return because
okay.
Survivor Series is in Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
where he is from.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking running.
Wait, I thought he was from St. Louis.
Or St. Louis. I'm sorry, that was my mistake.
Yeah, okay.
It's in St. Louis.
It's in St. Louis. Okay. Then yeah, I would
and
say.
It's one of those things where it's
that
like,
crowd, crowd will blow the roof off.
Exactly.
If he shows up.
They will blow the roof off, and he could come back and fuck the Authority.
Yes, which would be a good thing.
Yeah. No. There's so many places they could go, and I like it.
Well, this was the other thing you were bringing up was that Survivor Series is really kind of capitalizing on it's been like a year's worth of character development for a lot of different people.
I guess.
And especially for the Authority.
I mean, they kind of had to do some on-the-fly character development after Daniel Bryan got injured, and they needed people to fill gaps. It all started when CM Punk left, honestly.
Yeah, really.
They started having to shuffle things around, and it put us into the direction they're going right now.
Do you think they're going to be able to make this... How is
this?
Do
you think it's going to be a payoff?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Is this really
I can't really say. Is it
going to live up to its... I've never actually watched a Survivor Series PPV. I've got no idea what it entails.
I assume it's a series of wrestling matches.
No, but it's supposed to be like endurance based or something. Like it's Survivor Series. It's who survives.
That probably just means that it's
like
submission.
I know there's a gimmick to it. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if they've actually.
This is the problem with a lot of the PPVs is they've kept the names of the PPVs, but they've kind of stripped out the uniqueness of the match types.
Yeah,
like
bring back. They got to bring back King of the Ring though. I want King of the Ring.
King of the Ring is the shit. I want to see.
For my benefit.
Who would you want to be King of the Ring?
Cesaro.
King Cesaro.
King of the Ring and the King of Swing.
King of the Ring is when they have. Is it a battle royal that they have? Or is it it's a bracket tournament.
It's a bracket tournament.
They have a bracket tournament to determine, and it's just whoever wins instead of winning a belt or a trophy,
King of the Ring.
They become King of the Ring. And a lot of people will claim themselves to be King whatever for many months after winning King of the Ring. There was King Sheamus. There was King Booker T. My personal favorite, the Macho King.
Yup.
So yeah, that would be a really fun one to bring back.
I waited until
King Dean Ambrose. Can you imagine
my God,
wearing the crown at like a Joffrey Baratheon?
No. Give it to Bo Dallas.
Oh.
King Bo Dallas.
King Rusev.
Oh, that'd be pretty good. All right, we're fantasy booking.
I loved the Rusev. Not even botch, just the bit on WatchMania.
Oh my God!
And they changed USA for the Great
yeah,
Khali.
chanting USA for Great Khali versus Rusev.
And then Rusev just goes like,
"What?
Just real quick, so that we don't sound like idiots in the end.
Did you just fact check?
I fact checked what Survivor Series core concept was.
Yeah,
and it was tag team wrestling. That's all it ever was.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
And they can keep that gimmick up.
So,
Usos.
Speaking of Rusev, Kyle, bring up your point that you're the one who brought this to me. So it's
I don't know what you're actually talking about.
How Rusev is just the Russian John Cena.
Oh yeah, no, fucking Rusev's just Russian John Cena. Think about it.
Okay. Well, he never loses.
Mm-hmm.
He's very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't wear a shirt.
He doesn't cheat.
Crowd loves him.
Oh,
that's okay.
No, he's Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's patriotic. He loves his country.
But this is the big thing. This is the thing that you brought up. Is he always wins clean.
Yep.
He always wins clean, and it's like the only reason Rusev is a heel is because Vladimir Putin, and they keep telling us he's a heel, but he acts like a face.
Well, he wins clean, and the other Cena point being he always wins clean with the same move.
Yeah.
Yeah. He always puts him in the accolade. Although, actually, the thing I like in the Sheamus... excuse me.
The Sheamus match, which I didn't watch last
You should.
week.
It's on the network.
I didn't think that the title was going to change hands.
You should watch it. It's hossy as shit. It's a good Hoss match.
Nice.
And,
a good Hoss match.
No, he tried... For the first... I don't think I've ever seen it, whereas Rusev tried to pin Sheamus.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't think I've seen that.
That's interesting.
I'm not sure why he bothered.
Expanding
He's
his
put all of his points in submission.
Let's just all cough for like 30 seconds.
So I'm good, thank you.
Anyway.
I'm healthy as a horse that needs to be shot.
A horse that is drinking beer and ice cream
Yes.
before my very eyes.
Truth be told, I'm really just drinking the head now.
You found a way to make Guinness more fattening.
It's good for me. It will put on pounds for the long famine.
Guinness doesn't have the amount of calories as you'd think.
No, it doesn't.
Just the wheat. Can I have the bottle opener
I don't
back?
know what happened to it. There it is.
I was holding
The
it.
Mickey Mouse bottle opener for the kids.
What's next on the docket?
We're moving on to comics.
Oh, good.
Saga Volume 3, gentlemen.
Loved the shit out of it. Totally worth the wait.
Yeah.
Had-
When's Volume 4 come out?
December 16th.
Well, we'll be there.
Now they're put out individual issues. I might start buying them.
That's cheating.
Yeah. It is.
You can wait barely a month.
Actually, you know what I want is they're putting out hardcovers, and I'm like, that's
We
a
saw the
thing.
cover of the hardcover volume 1.
Oh, like, that's
I like
a thing
it.
that I want.
It's provocative, but I know you were Ryan.
I want to raise the point.
Right,
That's
okay,
all
you go.
I'm
You
saying.
go ahead and raise the point, and I will
raise your point.
tell
Tell
you.
me what. Tell me
And
why
I will
you're
tell
mad.
you why I think you're reading too. Maybe you're not reading too much into it, but I think it's also completely justified.
Okay. For those who are unaware, the very first issue of Saga carried with it some controversy. The cover, specifically, was the same as the cover we now have for the paperback
For Volume 1, yeah.
which is Alana and Marco standing side by side, and Alana is breastfeeding Hazel.
Okay.
And it was, why is she breastfeeding a child on the cover of a comic? You can't have that. Try and censor it. Well, they tried. They didn't succeed, clearly. Which is why I love that the hardcover is just
copy
the tit and the baby.
Yeah, the
I
hardcover
think that's
copy
amazing.
is a super close up of a naked breast with a baby latched onto it, and it's like it's a good cover. Like,
It's an amazing fuck you.
but it's such.
See? That's the point I want to raise. Is Brian
But I'm-
K. Vaughan just fucking with people by pushing
He's
the envelope?
not just like. Here's the thing: is I think that Brian K. That is a total middle finger, but it's not. Brian K. Vaughan is not just fucking with people.
It
He's
works.
doing
as
it
a
with
cover.
a purpose. It's a good cover. It works for that first volume.
But let's move past the cover and just the things that go throughout the issues. The fact that there is a full-on bukkake scene with Alana over multiple panels. The fact that you see multiple penises.
The one of the things
See
I want
some dicks.
one of the things
Not good dicks.
Well, one of the things I wanted to bring up was that sexual repression is a huge theme of Saga, and I was talking.
I don't know that it is.
It totally is.
Who's the sexually repressed character?
Prince Robot.
He's away from home. He desperately wants to fuck his wife.
It's got nothing to do with his wife. Prince Robot constantly has fantasies of orgies with humans
Well, they are sexy.
all the time. But we've only ever seen him having like procreative sex once. That's the only sexual interaction that he has. Is like standard, very Christian
Wasn't one
sex.
of them because he thought he was gonna die?
Yes, the
Yeah.
opposite of
Whenever-
opposite of war is fucking.
Whenever he, well, no, it's
Best line
whenever
in
he
the
has a
show.
near-death experience, you see them flash right on his face.
Yeah, you
literally.
do.
Or even like when he's having sex with his wife the first time in the first volume. It's like the first time you see him, and what flashes on the screen is like a bloody fang. Like that's what he's thinking about.
I do want to point out, though, yes, it did result in a child, but taking a woman from behind is not the best way to conceive a child. That's what missionary is for.
Either way,
Oh, okay.
Well, no,
He's
he's
still-
You're talking about
he's
sexual
still the most
repression.
sexually repressed character in the book, and he's still the bad guy.
He's
one
still
of
the
the
bad guy,
guys.
but man, do I love all these characters.
Yeah, though they're all fantastic.
But I was saying to Ryan, like, one of my fucking favorite things about Saga, and they do one or two of these in each of the trades, which is just like you're in this futuristic society, and it's like interplanetary travel. There's fucking magic everywhere, but it's like no, you got to be on you got to be on hold with the insurance company to try and get them to fix your ship.
Yeah.
Basically, the way I described it is the more things change, the more they stay the same.
It
That's
turns
something you see
And,
all the
and
time
you
with
get a
Brian.
couple of those moments every comic where it's just like, oh, these are people.
It's funny because it turns out I was wrong this time, but that doesn't change what the character design is. Ryan said to me when he was reading Volume 3, he sent me a text that just said, "Oh my God, there's a new freelancer in the comic, and it's just the best character." And I found when I got to that point where the brand is introduced, I just assumed that's who Ryan was talking about.
Which is fair.
And I said to him on Skype today, I said, "Oh, I should just know better by now. That whenever you tell me, oh my god, I found the best character in blank, I should just read that as, hey, David Bowie showed up." Turns out he was talking about the dog, but
I do like Lucifer in Sandman, where he's just Bowie. Make him more Bowie.
The brand really does look like David Bowie. And then I found out that it was a woman, and I stand by my stance.
But we are breezing over Sweet Boy, which is by and large the best part of that issue volume.
He's a rescue. He's a Saint Bernard with the rescue drum, but it
whiskey
shoots,
barrel.
Yeah, but it shoots poison darts.
It's got a skull and crossbones on it.
He's a death
It's
dog.
got glowing eyes.
He's a death
Pretty
dog.
good.
Oh, he's the best. He is the absolute best.
Satan, Satan, Satan.
Now,
You know what's funny is actually Brian's girlfriend got a good little
Brian being
Saga.
your roommate, not
Yes.
Brian K. Vaughan.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Brian
Saw
K. Vaughan got a little
saw Saga Volume 3 and started reading it. And I'm just like, no,
Stop,
read
stop,
the
stop,
first
stop.
two first.
Exactly.
And so I sent her the piece. She read the whole fucking thing in the weekend.
That's how you do it. It's short.
I will say this just because I do want to bring up the point, because the first thing you said to me today when we got in the studio and you were talking about Saga was this left you wanting more, and you said it felt like a transition volume. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You've since recanted that position, but I know why you felt that way, and it's the way that Brian K. Vaughan did Why the Last Man as well.
Well, I've recanted my position in terms of the first three volumes. You were definitely correct. This forms a nice, neat trilogy.
Yes.
But I still think that there are transitional elements that are setting up for a much longer run of Saga.
Oh yeah,
that
Saga is not going to
ready
end
read,
in Volume 4 by
Yeah.
any means. It's probably going to end in Volume 12 if I miss my guess. But Why the Last Man did this the exact same way, and it's a lot. It's kind of like The Walking Dead. Also, just that kind of type of comic is they will get somewhere pseudo safe, and most of the volume will take place there. The explosive climax will always be, we need to leave 10 minutes ago.
Except The Walking Dead will do that over like 300 pages.
Well, to be fair, some people have a lot more time to kill. But I'm trying to think, I think Prince Robot is the only one who didn't fall into that category in this volume.
He kind of got up and stumbled off.
Yeah, he exited stage left,
Yeah.
but the freelancer, the Will,
Yeah.
same position.
Yep.
He was on that Paradise planet, and then we had to leave 10
Well,
minutes.
That
There
was
was-
fucking
There was not
weird.
nearly enough Prince Robot in this volume for my taste, but it's because we had already gotten his story up to the point of the climax in Volume 2.
Yeah.
We got it in the climax of Volume 2. I also think that these first 3 volumes were not about Prince Robot. We are now...
It's not about Prince Robot, but he's still my favorite character.
No, I know, but I feel like the long-term Prince Robot character that Brian K. Vaughan wants to write is the one we see set up at the end of Volume 3.
Oh, okay.
Prince Robot is now physically damaged goods.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a much more interesting, dynamic robot. I think he's going to lose that urbane manner a lot more quickly. I think we're going to love where he ends up, but I feel like that's part of the reason you can say this is the end of a trilogy, is the characters are now in a new state.
They are all of them changed.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna have to mark this with super heavy spoilers.
Oh, we
Fuck
always
it.
do.
They knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We've been teasing it for weeks. I've been teasing you for months.
Since the beginning of the show, we've been talking about doing this.
And we sure as shit spoiled volumes 1 and 2 last week.
Oh, God. All kinds of all over the place.
Was there anything else you wanted to hit?
No, that's about it. So I quickly want to go over the other 3 comics that I wanted to talk about, and just real quickly.
Good.
I started reading Exterminate, which is a comic. I got it on Amazon for $2.99, and I read it. It's only 20-something pages.
Okay.
I read it and returned
You
it.
paid $2.99 for a single volume?
I read it and
Or
returned it
single
in a
issue?
night.
Oh, okay.
Because you can return books if you read them in less than a week.
Really?
You didn't know that?
Of course not. Then again, I reread books constantly. So
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
you can return things on Amazon for Kindle if you read them in less than 7 days. You can return them for refund.
I don't think that's how that system is designed.
That seems like a dick move.
Yeah, that strikes me more as that's the return period that we gave you. It's not, well, if you manage to beat the race.
Then they shouldn't sell things that are only 24 pages.
I mean, that sounds like the EB Games policy of, like, you can return a used game within 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hey,
It's there because there might be something wrong with it, not because you managed to beat the clock. Anyway, what is Exterminate about?
I treat Kindle like a library. Anyways, it's a comic by Chris Straub and Mikey Neumann from Chainsaw Suit original.
Okay.
And it's good.
What is it about?
It's about essentially it is the formation of an agency that finds people who have recurring nightmares, and they go into their sleep Inception style and kill their nightmares.
Alrighty.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is this a standalone, or are we going to see more?
I believe there's going to be more. It was marked as, number one. So
Okay.
It was cool. And it's now that Brood Hollow is not hiatusing, I need to get my Chris Straub fix.
Did you see the Brood Hollow Halloween update?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't.
It was a guest strip, but it was a very good guest strip.
I'll have to check that out.
Comic that Mr. Steven Witchell recommended to me. Eat That Toast,
which I'm going to leave entirely to you.
Yeah, it's another Gag-A-Day strip. In I really feel like there are two kinds of web. There are three kinds of web comics on the internet. There are people who want to be Penny Arcade. There are people who want to be Casey Green, and then there is everything else. This is one of the ones.
Wow, you cheap jack out. That's not even a word. So you're the everything else, are you now?
Well, everything else is a large category.
Yeah, I know.
But it's almost the same. It is the same size as people who want to be Penny Arcade and people who want to be Casey Green. This is a comic that wants to be Casey Green.
It's like back in the day. Everyone wants to be 8-bit theater.
Yeah. No, they do. They do a good job. The comic is very funny, and I've been hitting the random button a lot, and I've really been enjoying it. And
like you do.
Yeah. Some of them are really explosively laugh out loud funny, which is.
I liked free hugs.
Send me a couple.
Yeah, I will. They're good.
I liked hugs.
I like the ones with the pizza bird.
It was oh god, the pizza bird is awesome.
You got the pizza? Yeah. You got the soda too? Alright, now pour the soda on the pizza. Yeah, pour it, slut. And this the bird's face was like.
That is always the punchline of the bird. Is like, I didn't sign up for this. But what was the hugs one?
The brochure said there'd only be a few ostriches.
But I feel like the hug one was like a girl came out of an alley and it's like, hey, you want some free hugs?
Oh yeah, no. It starts with somebody holding his hand and says, "Hugs, not drugs."
Right.
And then the kid's walking past, and there's a girl in the alley who just says, "Hey, you want a free hug?" And the last panel is the kid sitting up against a brick wall with a cardboard sign that says, "We'll suck dick for hugs."
That being said, that is literally the only thing that is funny on that site. Do not look at his animations. They are terrible.
I didn't look at those animations, so I wouldn't know.
His animations, you know what they strike me a lot like? He says through a mouthful of beer and ice cream. They remind me a lot of like my RFS strips.
Oh.
Where they really...
Awful.
Awful. A demonstration of a different, inferior type of talent, and you really ought to have taken them down years ago because it's clearly not what you're doing now.
I think I'm the only person who still reads the old RFS strips and finds them funny.
I'm fairly sure you're the only one who reads them, period.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Alrighty.
But, also, I just wanted to give a plug to our buddy Steve, who's going to be on the show next week. He started up a website for Little Boy's Room, which is a comic that he is somehow involved in. He doesn't write it. It's written by a mysterious gentleman named Richard Scooperman Jr.,
which couldn't possibly be a pen name.
No, of course not. It's a completely different person who wears sunglasses and does rad skateboard tricks.
That's true. Those two
pieces I've met Steve. He can't do rad skateboard tricks.
And he can't wear sunglasses.
He can't. He has no ears.
The case is airtight.
How are you going to solve this one, Phoenix?
lbrcomic.com. So go out and support that. Let's talk about Snowpiercer. Pierce the goddamn snow.
Let's talk about how you pitched it solely for its name.
I did. I had never heard of it, and we were looking for a movie to watch last night, and I said to Kyle, I'm like, we're looking at his Blu-rays, and I said to Kyle, I said, I saw this movie on Netflix. It's called Snowpiercer, and he's like, okay. And I went, no, you don't understand. I read the brief for it, the 2-sentence brief, and it is... the last remnants of humanity ride around the Earth in an endless loop on a train. It's a post-apocalyptic movie that's just on a train, and it's called Snowpiercer. And Kyle's like, So he said, well, wait. He didn't want to watch it. He says, we'll wait for Ryan to get here, and we'll see what Ryan thinks. So Ryan walks through the door. And I say to and Ryan, you could say your line, but I just said to Ryan, I said, hey Ryan, what do you think of Snowpiercer?
It sounds great. I mean, it's an awesome film. I'd heard good things.
Yeah, so we watched fucking Snowpiercer.
We watched Snowpiercer, and it was super good.
It was.
It was much better than I thought it was going to be.
It was awesome.
That movie is so fucking weirdly paced.
It's so weird. It's just fucking weird.
You will get to the second act of this, well, halfway through the second act of this film, and if one of your friends said, hey, remember the first act, you'll feel like you watched it a week ago.
This one thing I have to give this film credit for was we were really expecting a twist. And there was a twist, but it was completely not the one we thought was coming. We were all 100% certain that we were going to get to the front of the train and find out that Mr. Wilfred had been dead for 10 years or something, or had never existed, or was just a brain in a jar or something.
Like this movie starts out in the tail section of the train, like the very last cars, which the train is divided by class. The further up you move in the train, the higher class the citizens in that last remnants of humanity are.
To give the basic premise of the movie, if you haven't seen it, and if you haven't, you should. We fixed global warming with atmospheric treatments,
C-17,
but we went too far, and the Earth froze over entirely, and the last remnant of humanity is living on like this 50-car super train that constantly circles the entire globe on this bizarre super track put together by the mysterious, enigmatic Mr. Wilford.
It was basically Richard Branson. Like, think of that levels of money and that little idea of what to do with it. But you started. I made the comment. I compared it to.
And it's about class warfare, essentially.
It's
beginning
pretty
is-
much the Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's also
No,
pretty
it's
much
very
Hunger
similar
Games,
to the
yeah.
Hunger Games. You will get a lot of Hunger Game feelings if you are familiar with that and watch this movie.
But I was just
rich people-
I was so fucking pumped when the Weird showed up.
Yeah, the guy who plays...
Yeah, they pull him out of a fucking locker.
Yeah.
The dude who plays the weird and the good, the bad, and the weird.
Which, if you haven't seen that, that's a good
also
fucking movie.
Another great movie about a train.
Also South Korean.
Very good, though. But he's in this, and he's great.
He
I have
plays a
trouble
drugged
getting
out
people-
security expert.
I have trouble getting people to watch The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. It's just like, I don't want to read subtitles.
Subtitles can be
I
difficult.
read subtitles all the time.
Yeah.
But
And I'm like, what? You have to pay attention to the movie?
But just the visual aesthetic of this movie.
Yeah.
Because you spend like 40 minutes in the tail section of the train where everything looks like the fucking slums at the end of Children of God.
It goes from Children of Man.
What did I say?
You said Children of God.
Is that a different movie?
No.
No, it's
Okay,
just
then.
not a movie.
City of
It's
God.
probably
City
a
of
movie.
God.
City of
Children
God
of
is the
Man.
other one. Children of Man. Clive Owen.
Good movie.
Very good movie. We're not talking about it now, though. Anyway,
But
looks
you
like
go
that.
you go from that to
To the Hunger
the
Games.
Hunger Games, yeah.
To Sushi Bar.
To bizarrely brightly colored decadence and people who are so fucking out of place with the poverty you've spent time with up till now. Like, no, it truly is. The
Well,
Hunger Games.
I like the intrepid hero of the
It's
movie.
based way
The
before
intrepid
Hunger
hero of
Games,
the
but-
movie, when he gets to the front of the train, is given this big spiel about how everybody needs to have their place
He
on the
meets
train,
Andrew Ryan.
and this class system needs to be in place and we need to maintain this in order
This
to maintain
closed
humanity.
ecosystem.
Yeah, it's a closed ecosystem. And so, we need to kill when the poor get overpopulated. We need to mow them all. We start a revolution so that we have an excuse to shoot a bunch of them. And so this guy is offered, essentially, they recognize his great leadership skills as the leader of the rebellion. And Mr. Wilfred is getting Mr. Wilfred. What was his name? Yeah. Is getting old, and he essentially tells the guy, "Well, I want you to take my place."
at the front of the train.
At the front of the train. And what the guy decides, and I like the message of this, I like what's going on in this guy's head when he makes this decision. Essentially, he decides that if this is how we live, then perhaps we do not deserve to live. And he wrecks the motherfucking train.
I think we need to point this out. The gentleman who plays the main character of this film is Captain America.
Yes, he is.
Is it really? That's Chris
Yeah.
Evans?
Where were you last night? Yes.
I
it's
thought
Chris...
you were joking.
No, I'm absolutely serious.
Oh!
Chris Evans
I didn't
plays...
recognize him. He had black hair.
and a beard. Chris Evans plays the main character of this film, and it doesn't really surprise me based on the way that the character of Captain America has been played. But he's kind of called upon to play an action hero role, but he takes a very quiet, withdrawn, sensitive approach to it, which was what the directors said when they were casting him, because they were really kind of iffy about him in the beginning.
He has a fantastic monologue at the end of that movie.
It's
The one about eating babies?
oh,
Yeah.
Christ.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You will get
That's soul wrenching.
You will get to the second act of this film, and you have a very good chance of being completely jarred out of what you're watching, and you are supposed to be.
You will be taken aback by your feels out of nowhere, out of this movie about a motherfucking war on a train.
No, it's not even your feels. You will get to the second act of the film and not know what movie you're watching anymore. You'll get to the classroom and just.
That was weird.
No, that movie
You
didn't.
get to the egg guy.
There's tonal shifts.
I really enjoyed that movie, but that movie did not get 100% real for me until that monologue at the end where he says, he's like, they starved us for the first month, and that's when we started eating the weak. So now I know what people taste like. I learned the babies taste best, and I was just like, oh shit!
If you've ever watched a movie with friends, you know that most of them probably crack jokes at different points throughout. And you know there are some movies where everyone stops talking
and we just go,
at a certain moment. This movie has one of those moments, and that's how you know a film is good. But I'm going to bust out one of my $25 words here. Ludonarrative dissonance. The graphic tonal shift between Act 1 and Act 2 when you get to those rich people cars.
Yeah.
I feel like you just said, I feel like if that monologue wasn't there, Kyle, what did you say happens to the film? What is it?
Oh, God, it went off the rails.
Oh.
I had to give Kyle his moment with son.
I had to.
He said it exactly the same way. He leaned forward in his seat and he put his hands out and he goes, guys, this movie has gone off the rails.
No. Like, I sat there and I'm just like, guys, this movie has just gotten, and then it's just like, it's gone off the rails, guys.
You're a true poet.
Snowpiercer. Pierce the goddamn snow.
Who was the old gentleman?
John Hurt.
What's he been in?
He played Mr. Sutler in V for Vendetta.
Oh Christ, he did.
Yeah,
you guys are good at knowing.
No, that's only him.
He was the War Doctor in the Doctor Who 50th anniversary special.
Never saw that. Is he the wand guy from Harry Potter?
I do not believe so.
No.
I've never seen, I saw the first Harry Potter movie. I've never seen the rest.
He's Trevor Broom in Hellboy.
Who is
Professor Broom?
That's where I actually know him.
Yeah.
He looks identical.
Yeah.
With the exception of his various replaced limbs in this movie. He has an umbrella for a hand.
The umbrella hand was pretty cool.
Especially when you found out what it was like.
Yes, we all know what it was for.
No, where it came from, you dirty bastard.
Snowpiercer. Pierce the goddamn snow.
Some really good cinematography in it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Especially,
I highly recommend it on all counts.
Some of the CG was a little iffy.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I mean, that's forgivable.
It was pretty low budget.
So rarely.
Yeah.
I think they rightly spent their budget on casting in this movie.
Yeah. But it's like you got to the scene with the bugs, and it's just like
bad CG. Yeah. All right, we got it's somehow already that time again.
God damn. What?
Okay.
To wrap up the program.
Oh, but I want to talk more about
I have Vampire Hunter D on this list, but I'm sorry, you're just not going to get to talk about it this week.
If I don't talk about Vampire Hunter D, you know what that means. You have to keep in everything I said about Wicked City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I probably am.
Oh God, no.
I told you, your days of grace periods are over. Learn how to be on a goddamn podcast.
I refuse.
All right.
I am bringing in the hits that bring the kids with the spectacles.
What do we want to do? What do we want to do for the drawing challenge this week?
Oh, chest.
Get out. Get out. Get out of my house.
Is that sweet bitch worthy?
No.
Yeah.
You don't know what I was going to say. I might have been saying chest van braces.
All right. So chest van braces is the challenge. No. Fuck you. Let's not have anybody have to take the sweet bitch challenge this week.
No.
Let's just not do that.
Sounds good to me.
Apple dough.
Do we want to shy away from character design, or do we want to stick with that, considering we got a good response?
I like doing character design. I really do.
Alrighty.
It's not. It's more fun for me personally. But if you guys had a good thing that wasn't character design based, we could do that too. I know hands has been on the table for a while.
Fuck drawing hands.
Yeah.
No, everybody who wants to draw hands.
What have you guys got any ideas? Because this is.
Give me a tick. I said I'd be thinking, but I absolutely
you weren't.
No.
I want. Ooh, first thing that came to mind was Beastmen, but Laura already did such a good job with Edgar Allan Crow. What
a thought. I miss Laura's comics.
You know, we're about to play
do more comics.
We're about
Laura.
to play some Viking D&D. How about some Vikings?
Vikings are cool.
Vikings are cool, but they're very specific.
It's about Norse mythology.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a good theme.
There you
Yeah,
go.
okay, let's
All
go
right.
with that.
The theme this week is Norse mythology. So take a rendition on your favorite character or idea from the Norse mythology. I think that's a cool thing. I follow Fuck Yeah Norse Mythology on Tumblr. That's a thing I might actually submit to them because they do take submissions.
Good.
So
And if you're having trouble coming up with an idea, you could just draw something from Frozen, because that will be in the Norway section of Disney starting in...
Fuck off.
you. Fuck off. God damn. You know what? It's like I've been resisting seeing that movie for so long and I still haven't seen it.
It's fine.
And I'm sure I'm going to have to watch it someday because I keep talking to people. They're like, you haven't seen Frozen? I'm like, I'm not a 12-year-old girl.
Dude, I've seen it. I watched
Are all the
it.
people you're
it.
talking to 12-year-old girls?
Well, I mean, yeah, and I do have that tone of voice. when I
Stop
speak
going to
them.
middle schools.
I watched it
I
with the
can't.
family like last winter, I think it was, and like
Disney,
it's fine
for the most part. Disney makes good movies.
No,
I've
like-
heard
like-
it's very
like,
good.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, I think people give it more credit than it deserves, but it's good.
I'm sure I will have to watch it someday. I'm just
And
not going to
it's
seek it out.
it's like people rave about the music, and I'm just like, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's one of
generic.
those. It's one of those things that I'm not going to seek out because I'm sure someday it will.
One
find
day
me.
it'll just come up.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened with me. Is like my sister and my mom we're watching Frozen, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that.
I will agree with the thing about the music. Like, Let It Go, which has just taken the...
It's
name
just
of
that
the
four.
song.
It's just that four chords, isn't it?
I have never been impacted by Disney music ever.
Really?
Nope.
Okay, I can't claim the same.
I don't know. I like
some of the music in Hunchback of Notre Dame still gets me.
No, I always preferred the non-musical portions.
Really,
I don't know
I liked Aladdin. Fucking had the genie sequence.
I loved Aladdin. Aladdin was one of my favorite films for the longest time. I
like the genie
couldn't
music
care less about
segment.
music. Yeah.
I think the difference is that I really do think that you two as musicians view the human voice as just another instrument in the assortment.
No, it's not true.
Not
okay.
Not necessarily.
I consider the human voice to be the most significant instrument in any assortment that it's in. But
Talking to a man that makes money singing.
really,
Yes.
I thought you played the organ.
No.
I actually thought you sucked dicks in Subway, but
I do that, but that's
Sucks dicks
Sucks dicks for hugs. That's only for hugs. No, the human voice is obviously very important.
let's try
Perhaps
the
even
human
the
voice.
most important. We really need to cut this program off because I've admitted to some things that aren't even true, and I'm not even going to tell you which ones are which. So drawing challenge this week is going to be
can't sing.
Norse mythology in a subway. No, I mean just Norse mythology.
No, draw me a Viking riding the subway.
That'd be pretty good, actually. Serious business time. You know, check out that Patreon if you feel like supporting the
Serious
show.
business time is over.
Wow.
We already did it.
It's serious business time.
So I'm just like, oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Did you want the podcast to fail and go away forever? Is that what you're driving at?
No, I want them to.
Let me get this shit out of the way. Follow our podcast when you get the RSS feed done one of these days.
It's pretty much ready to go. Honestly.
All right, good. We should pull the trigger on that. Check us out on Patreon, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter. Google that shit. Hell to Breakfast. It's a fairly clean Google search. There's also a band out there called From Hell to Breakfast, but I'm working hard to drive them out of business. Hit list. We gotta think of fucking
Gotta
things to
come up
do.
with shit now.
I've got some things this week. I started watching Psycho-Pass. I'm gonna keep watching Psycho-Pass because I've gotten really drawn into it. I'm enjoying it.
I'm glad.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep doing Diablo 3 seasons.
Okay.
And I need a third thing.
Uh-oh.
Big and toasty.
Big and toasty. I'm gonna eat a big and toasty. All right.
I expect your full review next week.
I'm gonna do it. Who makes that? Is it Dunkin'
Dunkin'
Donuts?
Subway!
Donuts. No, it's Dunkin' Donuts is the big and
Dunkin'
toast.
Donuts
What am
is
I
the big and
thinking of?
toasty.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're
I'm
thinking
gonna
of.
get it. So I'm gonna play Diablo 3 seasons. I'm gonna watch Psycho-Pass, and I'm gonna eat Dunkin' Donuts big and toasty.
This has become the most bankrupt goddamn podcast.
Oh.
My hit list this week is just my porn choices.
Speaking of hit lists, Ryan,
What?
what are you doing?
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to be doing Phoenix Wright Cases 4 and 5, which
Good.
finishes out the base game. I have already downloaded the 6th optional DLC case.
It's fun.
And I will be playing it. I just don't know that it's going to end up on my hit list.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
want to talk about how the game ends, but after that, I don't think I'll have anything else to talk about. Based
I'm
on
really excited for the Big and Toasty. I'm sorry. Gotta admit.
based on the recommendation of a mutual friend of ours, I picked up the audiobook version of a book called The Martian. The last thing I'm going to be doing, because Lord knows you picked Psychopath, so I guess I'm not the only one watching anime. I have been making a mistake, Wicked City aside, and I've only been watching like solid anime productions. I wanted to watch something really terrible this week. So I am going to be watching C. Control, The Money of Soul and Possibility. It is a 13-episode anime in which Japan got bought out by the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and a kid receives an offer for lots and lots of
Is it
money.
just blank check the anime?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It is. He receives an offer. He's like, we will give you like all the money you could ever want. You just need to offer your future as collateral. And he is placed into an arena where he must consistently compete in deals with a capital D with the help of his sexy 13-year-old devil assistant. I'm going to see how far I can make it.
And number 3.
No, that was it.
That was it?
Phoenix Wright, The Martian, and that shit
okay.
I just said.
Shit, I'm not gonna have 3. I'm gonna finish.
Fuck it, do whatever.
I'm gonna finish Wolf Among Us episode 4. I'm gonna do
4 and 5. That's 2 things.
That's
right
not
there.
2 things.
Okay.
Phoenix Wright case is
I was
4 and
giving
5
you an
is
out,
two
bro.
I don't.
You gotta
need
eat
it
a
now.
Big and Toasty too now.
I've had a Big and Toasty.
How is it?
It's okay.
Can you get that Popeyes dinner box?
I don't have a Popeyes near here.
We're not going to start a fast food review on this program.
No,
we're
not.
We're just not.
I'm drinking ice cream and beer. What kind of pretensions do you think we have?
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and finish Bayo 2. Don't know if I'm gonna make it.
I bet you will. It's a platinum game.
Yeah, and actually, I've been sinking some time into Civ After Earth, which has been really fucking cool.
Where did this come from?
Did you not know I own that?
No, I kind of thought you were going to
Nah,
say
the,
before the Golden.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna put that on the podcast unless something really strikes me.
The Chipper has said that that After Earth is really, really good. So.
It's a lot of fun. Does he have it?
Oh, I would.
I think I'm pretty sure.
So.
Haven't I fucking played him yet?
I don't know.
I don't know because he plays Gandhi.
Well, no. Right now, I know he's
topics.
Right now, I know he's fucking playing.
I don't think he's a big
he's
enough
playing
douchebag
Final
to play
Fantasy
Gandhi.
14 right now. He texted me last night
Yes,
that he
he
hit
is.
level cap.
No, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast.
He sent me his Skype message and just said, I have created my character. It is a hot waifu, as is the custom of the land.
Didn't he join like a sex-only chat?
Yes, he joined an erotic RP.
On a LARP, he joined an erotic RP chat server, and then when he got his fill and he wanted to be done, he found out that he can't get rid of it, and so it's just always there.
Oh God.
I can't even imagine what that's like in a Final Fantasy context. Everyone is 12.
And with that,
Just like my animes.
we'll see you next week in the studio. We're gonna have Steve Winchell of Phil and Little Boys Room and Daily Campus Comics and Telethon fame. So be sure to be here for that show. That's going to be a cool one. We've had Steve on the program before via phone. He's a very funny gentleman.
He's far more charismatic and sexually driven in person.
He's one of my personal comics inspirations. So I think we're all going to really enjoy me fawning over him for an hour.
boy.
I'll bring my big beers.
There you go. All right.
Let's watch some Raw.
We're gonna watch some Raw. We're gonna play some D&D because we are dorkazoids.
Technically, I am a weeb.
Yeah, you are.
You are a weeb.
You're very weeby. Good night. For all that shit.
Thank God I don't watch porn anime. Oh, wait.